I don't know if anyone's noticed, but recently it seems like everyone has started to run for fun. The fitness space is now full of everyone going for runs every day and participating in marathons. And to be quite honest, well done to those people, because running is, I think it's one of the hardest things ever. And if you're running and getting good enough to run a marathon, that's kind of amazing. But I did just want to use this video to point out that running is not the only form of cardio out there. I think that maybe people are now thinking that it's the best and most effective form of cardio. And I think there's still a large amount of people out there that don't like running. So my personal favorite ways to do cardio have always been either getting on an exercise bike or just simply walking. Walking is still my number one. I think everyone should be trying to walk as much as they can, because it is still one of the best things to do for your overall heart health, but it's also just really good for weight loss in general. And recently I came across a video on YouTube about rucking, which is, to put simply, just going for a walk, but with weights on your back. So you can do that with either a weighted vest, or even easier, you can get a backpack and put some weights in it, or even just some books to make it heavy, and then you have a weighted backpack and you just have to go for a walk. And this is a very, very effective way of achieving weight loss. It's also very good for your heart health and has lots of benefits in general, which I will go on and talk about in a little bit. But if you watched my video a couple of weeks back now, I did mention that I want to try and shed off a bit of body fat, just as a little personal goal. And I got into a very good routine. I was doing a lot more walking. I then started getting on the exercise bike to do a lot more cardio. It was going all right, but then I went on holiday to Melbourne, and as fun as that was, I did get out of my routine and fell off the wagon with exercise for a bit. So I'm going to try out this rucking thing. I'm going to try and do essentially weighted walking and see what kind of results I get. I'll give it a good shot for about a month and hopefully get good results. The reason I'm so interested in trying this out is because one of the main reasons I always fall back to walking as my preferred method of cardio is because years ago, when I was in high school, I had to walk to school, and that was half an hour there, half an hour back. And I lost a significant amount of weight just a couple months after doing that. And for that whole year that I was doing that, I ended up losing about 5 kilos, which at the time was a pretty significant percentage of my total body weight. And so I always default back to walking whenever I need to try and just burn a little bit of fat off. But recently, it hasn't been doing as good of a job. A few reasons for that. I'm obviously not as young anymore, so my body is different. Two, I don't think I'm being as consistent as I was back then, because I was just forced to do that 5 times a week. Whereas now I just kind of try and fit it in when I can. And the third most important thing was I forgot I had a weighted backpack on my back the entire time I was doing that. I was carrying heaps of textbooks in my bag and I had to carry it. And I think that may be the missing link, because I haven't been doing that recently when I have been going for my walks. So I want to test the theory out, and I want to see if the weight on my back has been the missing link. Now, I could have done this the old school way and just gotten a backpack, shoved some weights in there, and that would have been probably the easier thing to do, but I needed something to get me a little bit excited about doing this, because it doesn't sound that fun walking around with weights on my back in winter. So I went shopping yesterday and got a weighted vest, which is what's in this box. I have already gotten into the box and looked into it and everything, so let's just pretend that this isn't open. But so there it is. That is the weighted vest. Now the one we actually got was a full-on 20 kilo vest, which going to go that high, but this vest is really good because you start at 20 kilos or whatever, and you can just remove weights to get it to the lightest that you need it to, and then you essentially add weight as you get stronger, because that's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to get strong. But just to show you, this is pretty much just a 1 kilo weight, and they just go right into the pockets. So the vest has little pockets just there, and in each of these pockets is one of these 1 kilo metal blocks, and you just add as many as you want. So right now, believe it or not, with how much I'm struggling with this vest, this only has 5 kilos in it, and it's heavy. Doesn't feel like a normal 5 kilo dumbbell, that's for sure, but Jesus. Yeah, that's 5 kilos, and that is what I will be putting on me to go for my walks to start with. I did start out with a 3 kilo yesterday, and that felt all right. I was able to walk for about half an hour. 5 kilos I'm hoping isn't going to be too bad of a jump. I'm going to try that out today. But yeah, let's just see what this looks like, eh? Living out my dreams of being a police officer. It's quite simple. You just put it on and strap yourself up, really. This genuinely looks like a bulletproof vest. But that actually feels fine. That's 5 kilos. Yeah, I don't think I'll struggle walking around with this. Hopefully. Will I look really weird walking around with this? Probably. But let's get into the good stuff. Let's actually talk about why rucking is so good for you. So why is rucking so good? Well, there's a lot of benefits, and essentially rucking started off as a form of military training. So it was used to train recruits in the army, and it was simply just them walking with their heavy ass backpacks for, I would imagine, quite long distances, and it was to help them build up endurance and fitness, and that is still the benefits of it today, because as you can imagine, they need to carry around equipment, rations for I don't know how many days people in the army go out for, but because of that, it just makes sense to use it as a form of military training. But it has benefits that can help me and you as well, even if we aren't in the army. In general, it just boosts your fitness levels because it improves your lung function, it builds your muscles, and it's great for your heart and cardiovascular health. Because you actually have extra weight on your back as well, it burns a lot more calories compared to just regular walking. It's a low impact exercise, which is better for your joints as opposed to something like running. So this is really good if you want to look after your knee health, or you have mobility issues and you just have bad knees maybe. Walking with weight is going to be a lot easier on the joints than running. And finally, it is also good for your posture, and that is because with the weight on your back, it is pulling you up into a proper posture, and then you are walking with that. So it's going to train you to be in an upright position, potentially fixing bad posture if you are someone that's hunching or crouching over, which is like 90% of people today, myself included. And the best thing about this is, ideally, you do this outdoors in nature, which has its own benefits in terms of mental health. You just feel a lot better getting out in nature, doing exercise, and you can do it with a friend, so it's a social activity too. There's really so many benefits. Now, you might be thinking, well, should I do running or should I do rucking? And honestly, it depends on your own goals and your own individual factors, what you enjoy a bit more. There's many ways to do exercise, and really what you select needs to just suit your individual needs and what you want to achieve. So I do want to do a little quick comparison on where running might be a bit suited to you or where rucking might be a bit better. And some people like to make the decision on, okay, what's going to be the most effective and best way for me to burn calories. Well, running generally burns more calories per minute, especially if you are running at faster paces, because obviously that is requiring your body to just work that much harder and you're going to burn more calories. If you are someone who can maintain that high intensity for a short duration, then running is probably going to be more beneficial for you if you're trying to burn the most calories in the most efficient, effective way. If you're someone that can't quite maintain that high intensity of running, then rucking can actually be a pretty good alternative because you can sustain that for a longer period of time, because you won't reach exhaustion as fast as you would with running, and so at the end of the day you would be able to burn the same amount of calories as running. But obviously if you want to do it in a shorter amount of time, running is going to be a little bit better. Now, I did mention before that rucking has less of an impact on joints. So if you are someone who has joint issues, you have knee pain, you want to protect your joints for when you get older and things get a bit more hard, rucking is probably the best way to go because, again, it's just more gentle on your joint. Running can be a bit high impact, so don't forget that. It puts stress on your joints, your ankles, your knees, and your hips, especially if you're a beginner and not having the best technique. That's why technique's very important with running. That's why shoes become very important with running. So you need to make sure you are protecting your joints. If you want to avoid that, rucking could be a good alternative. Now, muscle building. Let's talk muscles because it's important. When you're running, you are mainly working out your legs and your cardiovascular system, of course. We can't ignore the fact that it is strengthening your heart muscles, which has a lot of health benefits. Just watch my past videos. But rucking actually engages more body groups and more muscles, so you can actually work out more muscles if you do rucking. It works out your legs, but it also works out your core because you are trying to keep that upright position with your weight, with the weight hanging off your back. Also works out your back and your shoulders. This is one of the reasons that rucking is quite efficient at burning calories, especially more so than walking. That added weight engages so many muscle groups to make it a real full body workout. And of course, after you're finished with your rucking exercise, then your body has to rebuild that muscle, repair it, which also contributes to calories burned. But of course also makes you stronger because when it rebuilds, it becomes stronger. So really, the two of them kind of can give you the same end result. Maybe I would choose rucking if I was more concerned with strengthening my muscles and becoming a bit stronger, because you can just increase the weight as you get more comfortable with a lighter weight. You can just go 5, 10, 15 if you get super strong, so you are increasing your muscle. But if you're time poor, you don't have a lot of time and you want to get the most out of your workout, running is probably the thing that you should pick. But if you do have the time to do something that is a bit longer duration, rucking could be the better thing for you, especially if you're trying to have enough energy to lift weights and maintain and build muscle. So I'm picking rucking because I don't like running, but also because I do want to get stronger and build on my muscle groups. And really I just want something that's a little bit more intense than walking, that's going to help me burn a bit more fat. Alternatively, if you are very fit and very strong, the best case scenario would probably just be to put a weighted vest on and go for a run, and you might get the best of both worlds. But I can't do that, so I'm picking rucking. So that's what I have to say on rucking for now. It is my newest addition to my workout regime. I will be trying to do this about 4 times a week. I'll be trying to do this about 4 times a week. 3 of those sessions will be probably about a 20-minute to half an hour walk just around the block with the weights on, of course. And then the 4th session, which will probably be on a Sunday, will be a longer walk, potentially even something like a hike if the weather is good enough. I am still going to try and do my gym sessions on top of this. So that'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Simple push-pull legs split. And we'll see how we go. I will try this for a month and kind of document it, and I'll share with you in a month's time, and we can see whether it's worth it and whether I'll keep continuing on with it. I'll make that decision in about a month's time. So first things first, if you look here, this is my starting physique, I guess. So we'll compare this in a month, like I said, and I'm hoping it looks a little bit different to this. I'm not expecting miracle results, it's only a month, but we'll get a fair idea of whether it's beneficial or not. Thanks for watching if you did make it this far. I know this video was a little less sciencey compared to my other videos, but my uni trimester has restarted again, and that is demanding a bit more of my time. If I'm doing research and I'm doing writing now, it's for my degree and assessments and assignments, so I have to put that first. So I figured in the meantime I will make videos following my own journey in trying to get back in shape and trying to play the long game with my own health. So hopefully you like that, and subscribe if you want to see more. I will still be putting out more educational videos as well from time to time. Obviously it's just going to be best of both worlds for a while. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and as usual, keep playing the long game.